Today in the crypto space, we see a crazy bit of price action throughout the market. Bitcoin back down to about 60,500 after hitting that nice bullish target at about $64,000. Ethereum right around that $3,200 mark, also taking a bit of a dip. And the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, a bit of mix and green throughout the market. We see Aptos looking pretty good and many others. However, there's some retracements near Protocol and TIA, just to name a few. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. However, guys, I want to focus on Ethereum. What is happening with ETH, and is it potentially showing us an altcoin season to come? So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. What's going on here with this market? Bitcoin, was grinding to the upside. Many people were calling it a breakout. All-time highs, price discovery was on its way, but it got a bit of a rejection. And this rejection was not caused by price action. In fact, it was caused by Coinbase. Guys, Coinbase went down for a bit and it caused the price to crash down. Now, of course, we're going to talk about this in a little bit more detail tonight at 7:30 when I go live. We'll look at all of this, the possibility, and we'll also let some of the reports come through to see exactly the details as to what happened. But generally speaking, guys, when there's a bit of fun on an exchange, we do see the prices react. Now, the question is it truly undervalued given that scenario? The reality is that Bitcoin came down, not based on price action, based on FUD, based on, Coinbase. And the reality is it is undervalued in this case, right? It should climb back up to about 64K again and potentially, get back to its trajectory where it was supposed to go. However, the way the price action looks at the current moment and the way the overall sentiment could be playing out right now, it does look like a blow off top. Blow off tops at the current state where Bitcoin is not a good sign. So let's see where the market what the market does if it continues going to the upside. In my opinion, guys, right now it's very, very risky to get into this volatility. We have no way really to know how this is going to resolve itself. So my opinion is no trade zone for Bitcoin. However, guys, I am still looking for bottom dwellers on altcoins, and of course, based on Ethereum's lead. Guys, today we'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about some of these altcoins again, but I'm going to focus a bit on Ethereum and later on in the segment, just to kind of, look at how it's treating the altcoins. Is Ethereum being a great leader for the altcoin market? Solana right now is doing okay, getting a bit of a bounce. You can see that in the short term, a lot of these altcoins did take a dip based off of what happened here with Bitcoin and Coinbase, but a lot of them are still okay. If you look at Dogecoin, is okay, 12% to the upside. We have even Solana, was grinding up today, doing pretty good. It's still up 2.5% for the day. So generally speaking, guys, as long as you're in the right coins and the right narrative with the right project, you're still okay. Polygon Matic, not so much. Yeah, it took a bigger dip than expected. Toncoin was grinding to the upside and all of a sudden took a bit of a dip, but it's still up 12% today. Not bad. Uniswap holding steady like a stable coin. Not bad there. So you can see that, generally speaking, the market did absorb a bit of this volatility. Even stacks, yes, it did come down, no doubt, but for the day, it's still up 5.5%. 22% for Aptos, it barely flinched. It's doing a bit of a consolidation, maybe another continuation bull flag happening in the works right now. So this is what you have to understand. The market did come down to an over or undervalued scenario. And if the price action is meant to continue going up, people will be buying the dip and accumulating now on this undervalued scenario. So let's keep in mind that that's very possible. Caspa coming down to those lower levels, not the greatest look, you know, should be holding down. Leo coming down, of course, very aggressively, but the market in general is still within structure. For the most part, they're still grinding to the upside. Yes, they came down a little bit. Look at VeChain, even Injective, you know, Stellar XLM, all coming down, but still within structure. Render, sideways, planking, doing its thing. Yes, it came down to the bottom of the range, but no big deal. As long as it holds above those previous lows, we're still okay here, guys, for this market. So let the Coinbase thing resolve itself, and let's see where the market, if the market decides if we're going to continue going to the upside or not, or what we're going to be doing. Obviously, tonight I'll be live and we'll take a look at this one more time. We'll let the market kind of figure things out. The Asia markets will be coming out hot this evening, so we'll see how they react, and you know, to this news, to the price action, and might give us a bit of an edge to see what we could do for the next day. Obviously, tomorrow is another trading day that could give us another continuation to the upside. So I really tend to want to always think about this type of scenario where there's FUD, again, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, to understand this as it being an undervalued scenario where you can get in on a cheap for a quick dip here and potentially continue to the upside. And we have Pepe still holding strong, guys, 13% to the upside, 165% in 7 days. These meme coin didn't even flinch. FET is still doing good. Okay, Phantom started waking up today. It came down for a retracement. That's fine. It's up 15% in 7 days. You know, that's the name of the game. You know, it just started its move to the upside. Maybe a bit of weakness there, of course. Sandbox, a bit of a dip after a grind for a good while. And you can see the market in general is ready to lift off. Generally ready to lift off. Now, I do feel like ultimately there could be some skeptics here. You know, how the irony and, you know, the possibility of getting this scenario on Coinbase right at pretty much all-time highs, guys, is too coincidental, right? Coinbase, heavyweight. Coinbase should be prepared for this type of volume. And in fact, this is not even a lot of volume. The reality is we're not even in a major bull run where we're having a lot of market participation from the retail market involved. So I don't understand how such a big compliant organization didn't use the entire bear market to prepare for volume for an up-and-coming bull run. If it's anybody, it's Coinbase that should be prepared. In my book, I don't buy this. I feel like we need to wait for a little bit more reports to see exactly what's happening here. Pith coming down a little bit, grinding to the downside 4%, but it's still doing very well in the last little while. We have GNO doing good. What's going on with this thing? Up 3.5%. Right now it's at the top 100 market cap all of a sudden. And we have Jasmine Coin doing its thing, top 100, 30% to the upside in the last 7 days. Good stuff here. And as you can see, the general market is still looking okay. All right, guys. I know you're here to talk about charts. Let's begin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. We'll take a look at Bitcoin real quick, and then we'll talk about Bitcoin. What's Ethereum? Bitcoin got that rejection as I stated, based on the Coinbase. Let's call it a blackout or a crash or whatever happened to the website. We still really don't know the details, but it did invalidate the bearish divergence earlier on. We talked about this yesterday. I was prepared for this invalidation. If we were going to see Bitcoin continue, and I honestly was expecting all-time highs in price discovery. To be honest, that's what I actually expected. And as we can see, the momentum was actually in favor for that to happen. Let's get rid of this, meaning that it broke the previous, pretty much the divergence, the lower high right here. And it's very likely that the momentum was on its way to make a higher high here. And that would be epic for the price action, given that the majority of the bullish move is in overbought territory. Once we get in extreme overbought conditions, that's where we get the majority of the bullish price action. So it was actually prepared to continue if it wasn't for Coinbase. Now, this is the biggest issue. Are we going to continue going to the upside here? And we can see that the MACD was also poised and positioned, ready to continue. EMA's facing up, green histogram bars, ready to go to the upside, guys. This is a very unfortunate scenario. Now, if we look on the daily, it doesn't look healthy. This doesn't look good. From a candlestick analysis type of thing, the larger the wick, the more bearish it looks. It starts to look like a blow off top rejection, and no doubt it was. We hit the bullish price target, pretty much a nice 64, you know, almost 66. That's where I was like, look guys, if we're gonna get there, we might, you know, hesitate around that level. That's, you know, there was a tad bit of a volume gap right in that zone, so we hit that zone. That's fine. We got a rejection. Look how coincidental. What are the chances as we are approaching previous highs? Perfect zone for continuation breakout, we get that FUD. And there's bears looking at this as a potential blow off top. So we got to be very aware that the sentiment right now is a very, very risk off. This is a very risky scenario right now. It could be a blow off top where we come right back down, and that would be very unfortunate. However, guys, what does Ethereum have to say about this? What does Bitcoin have to do with the relationship with Ethereum? Well, if Bitcoin gets into a consolidation here and people are not belonging or shorting, it's likely that Bitcoin can get into a sideways consolidation, which again, as you know, it's really bullish for alts. When Bitcoin went sideways here, our alts were flying, absolutely ripping. And then all of a sudden, when alts were going sideways here, alts were flying, absolutely ripping again. And you can imagine that if Bitcoin does the same thing right here, after getting more capital into the market, after this green pop to the upside, we saw the overall market cap rise above that 2 trillion, almost $2.2 trillion mark. All of a sudden, we could potentially see altcoins fly again. All right, guys, let's take a look at ETH. What is ETH saying? ETH is doing a very similar thing. Of course, when Bitcoin doesn't do well, Ethereum tends to want to follow. The fear, the uncertainty, and the doubt causes the entire market to basically stutter. And we're seeing Ethereum do its thing, you know, come down to lower levels. So people selling off, people being fearful on, you know, Bitcoin's, dip and that sort of thing. But ultimately, again, Bitcoin and Ethereum are very frothy all of a sudden. We can see that we almost hit that $3,600 mark. Guys, I've been calling this mark for a good while. Now, there's no doubt in my mind, if Coinbase didn't step in here with this flop, we would have seen Ethereum potentially hit the $3,600 mark, guys. It's very likely. It was hunting for that zone. And it's not over yet, because the reality is we could continue and keep on going, because if the overall invisible hand of this market wanted Ethereum to get there, it would go there. The market generally moves in ways where it's the overall market participation that dictates true value. So is true value at 36 at the current moment? It could be possible. There's a little bit more growth here for Ethereum to move to catch up to Bitcoin, and that was my target. Now, am I going to get into a fresh long here on Ethereum? Absolutely not. We came close enough. We came close enough that it starts to get risky. In fact, even if Ethereum keeps on breaking out, it could be very possible. The same way Bitcoin did. Keeps on breaking out, price discovery, all-time highs, all that good stuff. But personally, at this level, once we start reaching that $3,500 level, I start to say there's no way I'm going to get into fresh longs here. The same thing I said about Bitcoin, and I'd rather get into altcoins. Why? Because a lot of them are still down here. Bitcoin and Ethereum, particularly Ethereum in this matter, is being a great leader for this altcoin still, because we are seeing that although Bitcoin falling, Ethereum coming down, there is no indication to us that we are done rising in the short term. None of the momentum oscillators on the weekly, on the 4-day, on anything, on the daily, we're still poised to the upside. Now, MACD could be a little bit bearish. We could be getting a bearish divergence here, but look at these EMAs, guys. We're in overbought conditions, facing up with a mission to continue going higher, and we could get still some more histogram bars that run up here. That's very, very possible. So ultimately, if you nickel and dime and try to find options here, yeah, you can find a bit of bearish, but overall, look at the volume. Nice volume spike into this move. We expect the price to continue going out. Let me expand this a little bit so I can get rid of the noise. And you can see ultimately looking great after a nice back test, confirmation after hitting this channel or this wedge. Nice back test of the wedge, and then a nice spring right off of it. So really, what am I doing here? I am not focusing on Ethereum any longer as far as looking for entries. I'm done with Ethereum. Ethereum did very, very well. Hitting 3,500 in the short term, not long term, I'm talking about short term, should be a very good target. Now let's see if altcoins are going to catch up. Right, it's been overbought on the 4-hour for a good while. The MACD on the 4-hour maybe getting that EMA cross, coming down to lower levels, and based on its current conditions, we could go hesitation here and make a bit of a flag, which would be absolutely fine for Ethereum to take a bit of a break after a nice explosive move. What else do you expect? A consolidation. And if we get into the consolidation, both Bitcoin going into a consolidation would be great for Ethereum. Ethereum going to consolidation would be good for the larger cap altcoins, the altcoins that majority of them haven't left the station yet, like Algorand and Phantom and many others, guys, that are just hanging up. Even AVAX, the reality, could do a little bit more. Polygon Matic is coming down lately in the last little while, and as these larger cap altcoins kind of take their turn, we'll see the trickle effect where we get that capital get into the mid caps and the low caps and micro caps and so on, and meme coins and NFTs and all of that good stuff. So right now Ethereum is doing a great job as leadership, but if it comes down, guys, expect the market to come down down with Bitcoin and Ethereum and the rest of the crypto space to come down to a fire sale state, which then it's when you're going to be looking for stablecoin. That's when you're going to be looking for dry powder on the side. And that is why at any moment we could get a retracement, but your portfolio should be aligned accordingly. I always like to have 10% in cash ready to go to deploy on any dips. On any altcoins that come down, I have at least 10% in cash ready to deploy and accumulate a bag at lower levels, particularly the projects that I have yet to build a position on. And there are a few out there that I would like to get a position on, but not at these frothy price targets. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Just be prepared here, guys, because as you can see, anything could happen in crypto space. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. Of course, I'm going to be live tonight at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. If you want to join that Discord, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.